The land transaction permit system has become a subject of controversy in Seoul. On February 12, the Seoul Metropolitan Government removed the land transaction permit zone designation for apartments in Daechi-dong, Samsung-dong, and Cheongdam-dong in the city's Gangnam district. However, less than a month later, on March 19, the government and Seoul Metropolitan Government designated all apartments in Gangnam-ju, Seocho-go, Songpa, and Yongsan-ju as permitted zones. Amid the confusion caused by fluctuating policies, we examine the land transaction permit system and the factors driving the ongoing controversy surrounding it. What is the land transaction permit system? The land transaction permit system imposes temporary restrictions on transactions in specific areas to curb speculative real estate investments, which aim to profit from fluctuations in market prices. The area where transactions are restricted per the system is called a land transaction permit zone. However, being designated as a permit zone does not prohibit all real estate transactions, as the purpose of the system is to limit only speculative investments and not regular transactions. This has raised the question of whether the permit system infringes on the basic rights of mobility and private property. However, the Constitutional Court ruled that the land transaction permit system, which prevents speculative investment, is a form of property right restriction as specified in the Constitution. How can you buy or sell a house in a land transaction permit zone? In general, you must obtain permission from the mayor, governor, or head of the G to transact property in a land transaction permit zone. To secure approval, specific conditions must be met. First, the property you intend to purchase must be your only property, so if you have other properties, you have to sell them all. Second, you must pay for the property within 3 months. Third, you must move in within 6 months of paying. Fourth, you have to actually live on the property for 2 years. Since these conditions are designed to prevent people from making speculative investments, the land transaction permit system is quite favorable for those who don't own a house and want to buy a home to live in. Status and controversies about the land transaction permit system. The land transaction permit system aims to reduce real estate speculation and stabilize the housing market, but it has sparked controversy. Critics argue that the government's inconsistent policies have caused confusion and uncertainty in the market. When regulations are imposed and later lifted repeatedly, people simply wait for them to be eased and engage in speculation. As the debate continues, it's important to closely monitor the future direction of real estate policy and how the government will address these ongoing challenges in the market.